We have Mike Mitchell's Week 10 XFL TV ratings from ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. The TV ratings are in for the final weekend of the 2023 XFL season. They return to their similar slate of games from Week 9 with a lone ABC offering and 2 ESPN telecasts and 1 on ESPN2, rounding out Week 10. XFL Week 10 games had high playoff stakes attached to them, but the revived league once again was competing for interest, with the returning USFL airing 3 games that either aired directly or overlapped with the XFL's action. A week ago, there was a direct effect in the cannibalization of the XFL's audience. In Week 8, the XFL rebounded strongly, averaging 760,000 viewers with only 1 game airing on Broadcast Network TV. However, Week 9, with the USFL on the scene, so the XFL average viewership dropped to 588,000 viewers. So let's take a look at how they fared. So on Saturday afternoon, at the noon game on ESPN, the XFL's game between the Battlehawks and Orlando Guardians, which was a shootout, monster shootout, 636,000 viewers. The telecast was rated 15th out of the top 100 cable TV shows. The USFL, which also opened the weekend with a cable broadcast on the USA Network, which never has done well. So the New Orleans Breakers Houston Gamblers game, that was at 12:30, averaged 133,000 views. The telecast was rated 133rd out of 150 on cable. The XFL's second game, Saturday, on ABC, featured the DC Defenders, America's team, and the San Antonio Brahmas, which was a lot closer than we thought, averaged 832,000 viewers, the highest viewed spring pro football game of the weekend. Was it because it's DC? But clearly, it was clearly on ABC, so that had some strong numbers. Even ESPN PR put out there that it peaked at 1.2 million during that game. Sunday afternoons, 3 p.m. game, on ESPN had the Houston Roughnecks and Arlington Renegades, averaged 403,000 viewers, rated 32 out of 150. The USFL overlapped with the XFL's ESPN game for 1 hour on Sunday as the opposing league averaged 725,000, which was on ABC at 1 p.m. Always those big network games are where you get the bigger numbers. XFL regular season finale, remember that they changed the time. That was on ESPN2, which saw the Sea Dragons clinch a berth in the confusing, we all know about that, with the North Division Championship on the line by defeating the Vegas Vipers. They averaged 378,000 viewers. I thought that would be a lot higher because of the stakes. The game was rated 41st out of 150 cable TV shows. Airing directly against the XFL on Sunday night at 7 p.m. was the USFL on FS1. Michigan versus Philadelphia matchup averaged 211,000. So for Week 10, the XFL won, if you want to call it that, in the head-to-head ratings battle with the USFL. It was more of a decision going to the scorecards. The XFL averaged 562,000 viewers, USFL 466. The latter aired 2 network games, while the XFL only aired 1. But the USFL was dragged down by 2 poor cable outings. And anything has ever done on USA Network never does well. For the second week in a row, it was more of the same for the XFL. The USFL splintered the league. XFL averaged viewership 2 weeks ago was 76,000. Now it's down to 570,000. Week 10 in the XFL also had the makings for a potential strong finale. All the games meant something, and they were good games, but because the USFL is involved at the same time, it kind of pulled some fans away. So Saturday's 2 XFL games were great, both high scoring, lots of drama. Battlehawks were in front of 33,000 fans, and they had to score as much as they could. Then the DC Defenders and the San Antonio guy came down to a kick, so it was all the gameplay has been great, and it's just something that we're just going to have to kind of keep an eye on for next season because the regular season is over. So the XFL playoff schedule is as follows: Arlington Renegades versus the Houston Roughnecks. That's on Saturday, on April 29th at 7 p.m. on ESPN2. You're going to for that. Seattle Sea Dragons at DC Defenders is Sunday, and that will be on ESPN, and that is at 3 o'clock. It's wrong on the page. We also have the attendance numbers for the Orlando Guardians Battlehawks game. Attendance was 33,034. That was on ESPN. The DC Defenders San Antonio Brahmas, 12,129 in San Antonio. I really thought San Antonio would be in that 200,000 range with their attendance. Houston Roughnecks, Arlington Renegades, again, that 12,821. That seems to be the bar. 12,000 for these Texas teams, though I wish they could do higher. Seattle Sea Dragons showed out 15,046 attendance at CenturyLink Field, and they were rocking with a game on the line. The time was good during Sunday. So a lot of things for the XFL to learn as far as the marketing goes for their teams, as far as when they should do schedule. I thought that they would learn something from the USFL, but clearly they kind of had to go through their own way. Really curious about how next season will go, but there you have it. We'll have the recap of how the playoffs did at the end of this week.